Hey UCA family, we're coming to you today. This is the first of what's going to be an ongoing series where we're going to do the athletic corner. We're going to highlight the students, we're going to highlight what's going on in our athletic program. But first off today, we want to kind of introduce our athletic director and kind of get to know him. So tell everybody your name.
My name is Juan Denny.
And Juan, how'd you come to us? Where'd you come from? What's your background? How'd you get involved with UCA athletics?
Well, of course, I saw the position open, the obvious part, but I really saw it for several months before I decided to apply. I passed it up a couple times and I said, no, I didn't want to do it. And then I said, one day I looked at it and I said, if it's there again, then I'm going to apply. And then I saw it, 3 months later, and then I decided to apply. And, and then going through the interview process, I was really seeing where God exactly was trying to take me and where this next phase, because I came from public schools, small charter schools, but the majority of my work has always been in the athletic field. So when I saw this open up, I did my research and I saw the potential that was here, and figuring out that, with the background that I had, I knew that I would have been a perfect fit for it.
Okay. What's your athletic background?
Well, I played sports my whole life. I'm out of San Diego, California, graduated from Lincoln High School. Then I went to play at Texas Tech. I played there 1 year for baseball on a baseball scholarship. Then I played professionals in the international with the Mexico Mayas. And then when the baseball stint was done, then I went and, I figured I still had a little thump in me. Yeah, a little juice in there. And then baseball puts you out of shape because I was trying to get ready for football. So therefore, then I had to get football ready. And then it took me about 6-8 months to get myself in football condition. And then I went and I tried out for the Spartans for CFL, and I was a running back until I had a bone contusion. And then it was back to the drawing board. Luckily I had 5 kids that allowed me to coach them from the little league all the way to the high school till they graduated. So, I just been immersed in the game of sports.
Okay. What has sports meant to your life?
Sports, that was a great question. So with sports, I was that kid that ran the streets, did everything that I wasn't supposed to be, all while playing sports, right? So I was that, the kid who ran the streets at night, and then in the daytime I was on the baseball field or the football field playing the game. So therefore, what sports meant to me is one day I got in trouble as a kid, right? I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, not proud of, but I know God has a purpose and a plan for everything. I just didn't understand it. And I got myself involved in some things that I had no business doing. Yeah. And when, as a kid, as I got put in the predicament that I put myself in, when I was confined as a kid, so at 14 years old, I ended up getting arrested and getting charged and having to go to juvenile hall. So while I was in juvenile hall, mind you, I was this great, everybody knew me as a great athlete. Nobody saw the, after the field, after the game, nobody really saw that. And I lived like a double life, right? When everybody seen me on the field, they saw this great athlete. But as soon as I got off the field, my heart was beating for the streets. Yeah. And while I was, behind closed doors, they had softball teams, basketball teams, I was, and in order for me to keep myself out of trouble, right, while being confined, it was sports, and I ran cross country when I was locked up. I played softball, I played football, I did weightlifting. So then, I ended up getting a name for myself while I was confined, and I became this, what they called it was a gangbanger with speed, because, I did that lifestyle, but then I also was a great athlete. So sports, while being confined, it really saved my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think if the game wasn't there when I was, sitting down doing for what I needed to take care of, that if I wouldn't have never had that relationship or that moment to meet the sport, because sport became my savior.
Yeah.
And then when I came out, it was just 100% dedication to the game, because the game really saved my life, changed my life. It's taken me to places that I could never imagine, but it saved my life.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I can imagine that background of sports, your faith, coming together. What does UCA athletics look like, bringing all those components in? How do you have the vision for UCA athletics?
My passion is for the kids, for the student athletes. That's where my passion is at. So everything that I'm bringing to the table is all student athlete geared,
Okay.
right? I'm making sure that with all these, with social media, with everything on the outside, drawing them and pulling on them, I fit in perfect, because I got pulled in by everything outside. So I want to create here a safe haven of athletics. Yes, I want to win. Everybody wants to win. But I really want to be able to have the kids learn something through losses, through triumph, through failure, through, having to dig deep and having to have those moments where they can, be able to build on, because we know the game is going to end. Right. Nobody, if you're that Kobe Bryant, you get to do this for 42 years,
Yeah.
that's great, but the reality is 5% are only going to college, right? Mm-hmm. With the way college is trending now, that 5% is probably diminished to probably, maybe 0.5% because of the transfer portal, right? So now the junior colleges are being flooded with kids that normally would have went to D1. So my heart is for the program, for kids to be able to thrive, and then to be able to have life outside of the game, right, and understand that this game translates to life. Mm-hmm. Now we have to, as coaches, we have to have that inside of us to be able to see those teachable moments and teachable windows, to be able to teach life lessons and instill values that we receive.
Right. So it sounds like it's more than just the wins; it's the character that you're building more than the wins, because the wins go away.
Correct.
I don't remember the wins. I remember my teammates. I remember the moments that we had. So what's on the horizon? We have so many things that have happened. I see we're sitting on the brand new field. We were in the gym the other day. Gym's redone. So what does the future of UCA athletics look like?
The future is, if you hang in there, the future for the program is bright. It's a program that you probably would have never seen or imagined will come out of UCA. But right now, I'm at the foundation part, right? So right now, we're hitting surface levels, the brand new gym, a field that we always had, but then we had to make it really what it should be and what it should look like. So with those, those are some small components, but it's a big component when you're talking to kids who play the game, right? Yeah. They're used to coming into a stadium-like field. They're used to having, it sucks when we go play at another school and their facility is better than ours, and then you come back, how do you take pride in it? Right. So with everything in the horizon right now, there's pride that can be taken in our facilities and what we have offering. When people come, not only do they see a nice campus, but now it reflects in the football field, it reflects inside the gymnasium. You go into the weight room is totally different. Yeah. So there's, it's just, we're hitting a lot of ground surface stuff that is going to help propel the program just by looking. Because a lot of people want to see the grass greener on the other side, but if I can show you the grass here, then you won't have no need to pay attention to the other side.
I can honestly say, because we've been on the road and I've been on some of the away games, we have the best facilities right now.
Yes.
Our best field, there's not another field in our division greater. There's not a greater volleyball court, basketball court, or gymnasium right now. So I can see all the hard work that you've done to build this program. So I kind of want to end with 3 final questions. And the 3 questions would be, what would you say to the current UCA athlete about the program? What would you want to impart to them right now?
So for our current athletes, I would, recommend them is continue to dig deep. You are the trailblazer, right? You're right there at the forefront. Is just encourage those around you. And you know, for some it's like it's my senior year, now we have the facilities, but to live in the moment and enjoy the moment and create memories on the fields. And every time you're playing, you know, just find something to strive for and then, you know, hit the mark on it.
That makes sense. And what would you say to the student who is curious about getting in athletics, but they think that maybe because they've never done it before, they can't do it, or they're kind of hesitant right now? What would you say to that student?
Yeah, for those students that have the curiosity, is come out and try it, because you'll never know what you're good at unless you just come out and try. You know, there's been a lot of diamonds in the rough. If you know, you would have never found out what you can do. Like, I never knew I was a baseball player until I got to playing, and years of trying to perfect the craft. You know, it doesn't take much, you know, but if you don't give yourself an opportunity, then, you know, you won't know what comes out of it.
Right. You know, I was a football player hanging out in a basketball player's body for 7 years. I didn't know until I finally got on the
So
field.
how was that?
It was great. It was a coach that spoke into my life. That's why I am involved with athletics, because I was a kid. I was playing basketball. I wanted to be that, but I was a 6-foot power forward. That wasn't going to work at the next level. And so the football coach was like, man, you need to be on this grass and learn how to hit somebody, because I was always good for 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I don't have no fouls on the football field. So the last one I would ask you is, what would you say to our UCA parents? What would you say to our UCA family out there about what they would need to know about our athletic program?
What I would say is, whatever you put into it is what we're going to get out of it, right? As a parent, you know, all these other programs can seem appealing, but we're in a unique situation where, you know, we're able to, you know, kind of control the destination of where we're trying to go. We know where our kids are at. We know the facilities that we have. And then we also know, you know, the expectation. But the biggest thing is, yes, we want the glamour, we want the lights, we want all that great stuff. But you know, sometimes we're kind of good where we're at. Yeah. And it's trying to figure out, how do we maximize where we're at? How can I support? How can I help the program? Yeah. You know, what can I do? You know, my circle of influence as a parent is different from the AD or from the coach or from anybody at the school. So it's like kind of figure out, okay, we can do this together, right? Mm-hmm. A parent, coach, parent, AD, you know, all that, we're working hand together. Mm-hmm. We're working hand in hand, right? So my goal is to always, as an athletic director, making sure that there's a return on investment on parents, so they can see the values and the stuff that the coaches are teaching our athletes. But it's just to make sure that, hey, I'm reminded of the movie I, Robot, the little kid movie, right? And the biggest thing that I'll say from that would be, see a need, fill a need, right? So as a parent, see the need and figure out how you can fill the need, because once you can fill the need, now you have buy-in, right? So, and being in a small school, you know, your voice can be heard a little bit quicker than it would if you're at a public school. Because a public school, your voice doesn't matter, right? You can go to the board, you can do all that great stuff, but your voice really is not going to matter. Here, we can actually put an action plan, put it together, and then roll it out, and then try to make it sustainable so it can take us to the next level.
Well, as you guys know, this year's theme is all in. So it's about, you know, as players, we're all in. We're leaving it on the field. We're leaving it on the court. As students, we're all in. We're supporting our classmates. We're coming out. We're cheering them on. We're encouraging them. As families, as parents, we're all in. We're supporting. We're picking up the slack. You know, one thing we do, we're going to celebrate the student athletes. So this was our first one, kicking off, getting to know our AD. But, you know, the next month we come out, it's all about you kids. So what you guys do on Friday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, whatever you do on the field, in the court, we're going to be celebrating you. We're going to be interviewing you out here. We're going to find out what it's like to go, say, beyond the net, underneath the helmet, behind the basketball. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. So we're looking forward to seeing you. Until next time, we'll see you next time.
We're out.